when I got out of the Marine Corps, I had a lady ask me to teach self-defense classes, which I didn't want to do it at the time. But after taking jiu-jitsu for some years, I felt like, okay, well, I'm ready now. But there was the striking element to me was like, how can I make this fun, right? I didn't want to get too technical into it. And I wanted to give people something to do. Because we couldn't do it at our other spot. It was just too small. And we had one punching bag in the back, and that wasn't serving anybody any purpose. But, I came up with the concept, combat cardio. And combat being striking, knee strikes, elbow strikes, punches, palm strikes, whatever. Give people something, a different way to approach fitness. It's already been out there. It's not like I'm doing anything groundbreaking that nobody's ever done before, right? If you had to compare it to something, it would be something similar to kickboxing, is what most people look at it. They're like, oh man, we're doing a kickboxing class. I'm like, no, I got to put my own name on it. It's got to have it's got to be me. So combat cardio, started doing that, and it just gave people something different to do, and they love it. So come up here, we do 3 different combinations. So one person's doing a combination, another person is shadow boxing. So teaching that is also the byproduct of people being able to throw a punch, to throw a kick. So most people don't realize how much they can't do until you ask them to do it. Everybody, man, I punch somebody in the face. All right, throw a jab. Oh, that jab was terrible, man. Throw a hook. Oh, that hook was terrible, man. You're gonna get in the fight and get knocked out, man. Don't ever do that. So, but with people doing this, it gives them a little moment of empowerment, right? Because they're getting to throw punches, they're kicking stuff. So, if they're having a bad day, it's perfect. Because we're gonna come up here and we're gonna get it on. And I put my own twist on it. So I use nothing but military terminology, when we're going through the different movements, and as we move from spot to spot, station to station. Something simple as if everybody's on the bag hitting the bags and I say incoming, that means everybody get down on the floor because we're about to do abs. They know when I say incoming, that means hit the deck. So just something like that, pulling that in there, because none of them, only one or two have probably been in the military before. So for the civilians, it's something different. But now they kind of feel like they feel like a group. They feel like my own little group of combat cardio warriors, right? And I can't wait to try these moves on. Don't try these moves on nobody, man. Don't try the moves. But it's something fun. I love doing it. I love teaching it. And I didn't want to get. I'm somewhat technical, but not like I'm trying to teach somebody to go become a fighter. Right? I'd say you might want to seek, a higher level than me, but I can get you started. But if you think about getting serious, you need to go see one of these dudes that own a boxing gym. But yeah, it's fun. It's 30 minutes. We get in, we get out. 27 minutes to that 30 minutes, we working. So there's not a lot of downtime. But these are people who have jobs. They come in, they love it. People came in during their spring break, so that was beautiful. People were out of school, they were off work and all this stuff, and they still got up and came in for 5 o'clock and got it in. So that says something in itself that, hey, this is something that people are enjoying. My setup right now, I could probably accommodate 23, 24 people without anybody skipping a beat. So I already got it thought out, and it's just fun. If anybody wants to do it, man, just do stuff. I wasn't, into boxing until I started boxing. Then once I started boxing, my version of what boxing is, I got an appreciation for boxing. I was like, wow, these dudes are really in shape. These dudes are really, really skilled, really, really technical. So just getting little pieces from that. And now my ladies will watch a MMA fight and be like, oh, that was a nice one too. So, it's fun. Everybody's more than welcome to come get some, man.
So we talked about the impact and the positivity and what comes out of it. can you talk about a little bit the negative side of things, as far not necessarily negative, but can you talk about the times where someone might have thought about quitting, somebody thought about giving up, and they have that negative mindset? Can you talk about what did you do to put them back on the right track?
Well, one thing is understanding that you can't control much outside of your bubble. So everybody has this bubble, right? And there's only so much space. It doesn't grow, it doesn't shrink, it doesn't get bigger. There's you, then there's this bubble. So everything you allow into this bubble, it cuts your room to grow inside of this bubble. So if you're feeling that stuff with all negative emotions, negative energy, there's not like a lot of room to impact or put positive things in there, because this thing's ready to blow, right? So the only thing you can do at that moment is maybe, talk to somebody, give them some positive reinforcement, and maybe they'll start to let some of that negativity out of that bubble. So once they're releasing some of that negativity outside of that bubble, then there's room to start putting the positive stuff in there. So once you overwhelm all the negative, then that swings the person. Boom. They're good. They're bought in. But we have to understand that I don't know what's being said outside of what we're doing. So unless you're deflecting anything that's not, helpful, then yeah, you're gonna tend to be negative. And some people, they're just built that way. Like it doesn't matter what you do. They can find $100 and they'll find a way to be negative about it. Well, I find this $100, but I can't keep it because I gotta go pay the water bill. It'll be something to that man as opposed to like, oh man, I found this $100, man. I wonder where it's gonna come from, man. I can go pay my water bill, man. Woof, like I'm good, man. So that negative person will find a way to spin that around into a negative outcome, when that whole outcome was like totally positive. But because that's who you are and that's what you've let into you, and consume you, that's all that you're gonna put out. So you're gonna start repelling those people who have positive bubbles. they're gonna go another way. So it's not that, opposites attract, not in that instance, because negativity attracts more negativity. Positivity attracts more positivity. So the positive doesn't attract the negative, because the positive doesn't want to be around the negative. But you have to be, so me, it's like, okay, well, regardless, I have to try to make an impact. And I'm going to try my best until you say, well, I'm leaving, I'm not coming back, or this ain't for me, I'm going to find something else to do. Then, okay, hey, cool. Hey, wish you well. If I see you, I'll speak to you. It's no, most times when you're in the fitness industry, from what I've seen, people will run into somebody outside of the gym or whatever, and they'll hound the person. Where you been at? Why I ain't seen you? When you coming back? I see you and say, hey man, how's your family doing? And I'm sincere about it. Like, hey, I don't care if you never come back. That's a decision, that's a choice that you made. But I do care about how your family's doing. How's the work life going, and because I want you to be good. But I'm never, oh, well, hey, well, you know where to find me. The only way I tell people, well, you know where to find me, is that they say, hey, man, I'm coming back. I'm like, all right, you know where I be. So now, it's up to you, to come find me. But I'm not going to try to guilt you into, coming back in. It's like, nah, people are people, right? And there's different places for people, different lifestyles for people. So understanding that at the end of the day, people are going to choose where they want to be anyway. I never want to force anybody to be somewhere they don't want to be, because then it's totally different. The atmosphere is different. So you never want people to feel pressured. So I never make people feel pressured. If they're having their moments where they're not so positive, just hit them with a little reinforcement and keep it moving. A lot of times you ain't got to turn into a conversation. You turn into a conversation if they invite the conversation. So that's the difference. Knowing when and where to say, hey, bro, you said something the other day, man. I never said anything, but it made me feel real good when I left. And then and it was brief. Sometimes it's all people need, right? They just got to know that somebody cares. So if they know somebody cares, then they're not, oh, well, nobody cares about this and nobody cares about that. It's like, yeah, but you have to allow people to show that they care.